Today is the day. We have spent the past 5 episodes build base. Build base is complete. Now we are on all about build slave army. Welcome to the Sanguophage survival series, episode 6, and yes, today we're going to leave the base building behind, and yes, we've built a lovely outline of a base here, and I do want to continue with it a little bit today, but today is the focus of build slave army. Now by that, I want to go out on quests. With the mod pack we've got running at the moment, we can go out on lots of quests. Ignore the fact there's nothing there. So on the world map, we have had a lot of quests pop up, a lot of bandit outposts, a lot of the mining work sites, a lot of quests that have come up on the map that we can do. And in order for us to get more slaves, we don't necessarily need to rely on raids. We are very lucky that we have 2 deathless characters, Smelly and Jezebel, 2 vampires that will never die. And we were also extraordinarily lucky that Smelly is quite possibly the strongest character I've ever seen in Rimworld, with the insane melee DPS of almost 10. So the plan for today is we're going to send Smelly, and probably Jezebel as well, on a little adventure to see who we can collect and what we can find. So if you enjoy any of today's episode, are excited to see Smelly and Jezebel on their adventures, consider liking, subscribing, and make sure you tell your mum about it. Let's get into things, and let's start off straight away by sending off the guys. Where should we go? Let's go to this gold mining work site and see if we can just collect the 4 people here. We've also now managed to, because we've built this base as just a big square, we can't actually let the prisoners escape, so we do need to future plan very quickly and decide where the entrance to the base would be. Now, I have the general idea in my mind that I'm following the town from Witcher 3, where there's the big castle on the top of the hill. I don't remember what it is. Please correct me if I'm wrong. So what happens is you enter from one side and it kind of swerves along like a C and then goes up and around again. So it's almost like an S shape. And I think if we go for something like that, we could almost use that as our like quote unquote kill box thing and have it just as a circle that leads up to the top here. So I think if we open up here, I think this makes like a natural sort of entrance here. I think that'll look pretty good. If we open up from here to here, then that gives us a decent amount of space as well. Caravan has arrived at the gold mining site. Now, are we friendly or are we hostile with these people? Yes. What? Well, if there is somebody... Oh, we are actually not friendly with them. Interesting. Now, something that we've also learned is that Smelly's quite powerful, so I'm actually going to make him fist fight these people. Jezebel, I will allow her to continue with her sword, but Smelly, you must fist fight people. That is it. Oh, are they all fleeing? What's going on? We're murdering them, that's for sure. Yep, so, turns out... we're just straight up murdering people. We're cutting out people's eyes left, right, and center. Ooh, okay, well, okay, I didn't expect this. And there's our 63 gold. Was it worth it? Who knows? I think I'm going to make Jezebel also fist fight, just for the time being, so we can try keep something alive. And Hops' homestead is now completely finished. We finished off the last little garden over here. I like it. It's very natural and aesthetically pleasing, you know. I think the only improvements we can make now would just be add more lights and things, and maybe try terraform some of the just limestone that's on the ground. But hey, I think it looks really nice. We've now reached the first camp raid that we've got so far, and ooh, that's a lot of people and there's a lot of good things. You have a magic ring. Have we bitten off more than we can chew? Probably. Jesus, these guys are really well prepared. They have some cool stuff though. I think I'm actually going to leave. We're going to go somewhere else. I think this is too much for us to take. So we're going to go do some peace talks instead. You know, maybe I was trying to be slightly over ambitious when I went to go deal with a whole faction base, you know? We've had a quest pop up whilst we were looking across the world. A 36-year-old forced primitivist named Tyoma is calling from nearby. He says he poisoned an underground insect colony and is now soaked in insect pheromones and the bugs are hunting him. He begs for safety and offers to join you at Jezebelium if you accept an infestation of 2 hives will begin in 3 days. Tyoma joins. Tyoma is a mantid. Well, we haven't got a mantid, and it'd be very exciting to see one because I've got no idea what those are. Let's accept, and in 3 days, 2 hives will appear. Not too bad. Oh no, new lovers as well. Balzana and Hotokoko. Interesting. So we've got an elf and just a normal person. Nice. And Tyoma has joined. Tyoma, Come into the light, my friend. Let me inspect you. Oh, what is that? He's got wings, but a normal human face. You're very strange, my friend. Very strange. From the Chemian army. And as a mantid, you have insect blood, efficient mandibles for eating, strong melee damage, which is nice, great melee as well, which is also nice. You thirst for killing people, and you have a pollution stimulus. Okay. Unsettling appearance. Oh yeah, really? You're telling me he's got an unsettling appearance? Hadn't realised that, honestly, game. And you are magic as well. Wow, okay. You're also a Psycaster, a Legate, and as well as a Pyromancer. Interesting. Well, my friend, are you good at anything as well? 12 in melee, 6 in mining, 11 in plants. Not very bad. You're resilient, a diligent student, and you're a farmer. Okay. You know what? I like this guy. I like him. We are obviously going to make him into a slave, but I like him. I've also remembered that Solas and Jezebel are in a relationship. Thank you to the commenter that told me that I should probably give them a bed together. So there they are. They've got a nice little sleeping spot in Jezebel's room. So now having to send home Jezebel and Smelly from their little adventures, it turns out that what I thought were faction outposts, then they're not. They're just faction bases. We have a Fenrir hunt to do over here, but I don't think we are powerful enough to take out a Fenrir yet. And the only other outpost on the map is all the way up here by the ogres. And I don't particularly want to go that far just for one outpost. So I think we're going to wait and just take any quest that pops up and just get on with our time. And even more interestingly, despite the commenter saying that I should assign Solas and Jezebel a bed, turns out that they can't actually have a bed because the IG Legion forbids it. Looks like I'll change that as soon as we can reform the IG Legion. And what did I say earlier about someone and someone not being able to sleep together? Coco and Balzana. You two have only just gotten into a relationship together. And crude limbs have been researched. Perfect. Next, let's grab ourselves either heating to get ourselves to then lead to getting saunas, a scorpion turret, or a wood-fired crematorium. At the moment, we're dumping all of our dead bodies in a pond. So let's go for heating. Look, Timer's gone berserk. Yes, he looks like he's gone berserk as well. The only character that I think I'm somewhat scared of him going berserk because he's got those mantis claws. Smelly. 1v1 him. Punch the daylights out of him. No, kill him. Okay, I don't think we killed him. But because the Timer's extreme mental break caused a permanent character change. Not because Smelly beat him senseless, but because of his mental break. Interesting. So he can become absent-minded, an ocean lover, an ecologist, or psychically sensitive. Now, ecologist and psychically sensitive would be perfect. He's a Psycaster. Fantastic. But ecologist, we could have someone else to help hops. Animal handling +4, plants +4, and plant harvest yield +20%, which is huge. So I think we're going for ecologist on the assumption that eventually Pyoma will be on the plant. And Smelly, did you do much damage? A little bit of damage, you know. You bruised him with a pitchfork. Fair enough. And I've now planned out the main entrance to the town as well. Same as we did with the at the top here for Jezebels Castle. We've got the same sort of style down here. Just slightly more robust looking, I think. And the infestation has arrived. Giant insects are tunneling towards you. They break through in a few seconds and plant hives. Hives that spawn more and more insects. And they are coming after Tyoma. Well, that's really weird because they've gone over there where I don't actually have access to. Get in there. Just go get involved. Just get involved. And the rest will search and destroy. The great battle. Insects versus dryads versus vampires versus a human. Who's gonna win? Well, obviously we are, because we're just ridiculously powerful. Oh, and I hadn't realized as well, but we actually do have a simple research bench. Here I am making Jezebel research on the floor. We can upgrade to a simple research bench. The life of luxury. The life of luxury. And we have now more or less finished the entrance to the town. What I've gone for is just adding these packed dirt as well. Going up into it is like the entrance. So it can split off around this mountain here. Mountain, that's kind of like a hill. Splits off around this hill and kind of like can go around this way and go up that way. And maybe we could have something in the middle here as well eventually. Like a statue to Jezebel. So I've kind of finished, I've started on the S kind of shape for going up in towards Jezebel's Castle with the main high street. And I think we can start working on the first building. Now, the first building is going to be a crafting area. Now, we've got 2 crafters at the moment. We've got Balzana, who is okay at crafting, and we have Coco, whose main job is meant to be crafting. So what we need to do is build a crafting area. And where should a crafting area go? I think the main things of the town, the most important things, should go in the center. The crafting area, a eating area / drinking area, and then a storeroom, you know. I think those are the things that we can kind of have along this central little space here that will kind of follow its way up. And I think the crafting area going in here is actually probably a pretty good idea, honestly. We've managed to accost some passer throwers, and we've accosted them for a quest. What have we got? Hunt a ghoul, hunt a relic, or hunt a fogler. I don't know what a fogler is. A relic hunt sounds slightly boring, but a ghoul I think I could probably handle. Let's get ourselves a quest to hunt a ghoul. Forester's Monster Arrangement. Grand Chief of the Hillenhaptor Dynasty has reported there's a group of flesh-eating ghouls. For 34 goodwill with hostile... This isn't a very good quest. And it's actually miles away as well. I think I'm still going to do it anyway. I'll take Smelly and Jezebel. And there we've arrived at the monster encounter. Where are the That's a lot of ghouls. There's 15 of them. What do they do? Ghouls are hard to describe. In part, they resemble humans, yet on the whole, they are utter negation of all that is human. They are driven by one thing, an insatiable craving for human flesh. Their repulsive look makes people vomit on sight. Oh god, they have a very high infection rate. This isn't necessarily the end of the world because we're invincible, but there's 2 of us and 15 of them. I can't wuss out. I can't leave. Oh no. Oh, if I back them in myself into a corner here, then I won't necessarily have to fight so many at once. So I get Jezebel to sit into the corner there, then kind of hope Smelly can just try to bait them in. Okay, well, Smelly has just taken one on, and they haven't turned hostile. They look pretty tame, if you ask me. You know, no beef there. They're pretty happy. Smelly, just go for it then. just do your thing. Yeah, they're not even attacking. Jezebel, search and destroy. Oh, well, this is easy. Yeah, they're not even attacking Jezebel. This is just... I kind of feel bad, actually. They're just helpless ghouls. There's nothing they can do about this. They're just going to get beaten up for free. Okay, now the ghouls are avenging. Okay, right. So this now makes it slightly more serious, but I've already killed the majority of them. There are still 10 left, but then again, we do have a giant ogre cross with a vampire, so this probably isn't going to be too difficult. There's a lot of little injuries there that are probably tickling Smelly a little bit. And the area is now safe. You can reform on the caravan map. But we haven't killed them all, so I don't think I've actually finished this quest. So we'll keep going. Okay, so we have killed 15 of them, and doesn't look like there's any left. So I assume I finished the quest? Let's just get out of here and just go home, I guess, and see what happens. So I have apparently completed this quest, so that was a W, I think. We killed a load of innocent ghouls that were just minding their own business, not even fighting back. Are we the bad guys? Yes, we are. And enslaved. Tyoma has been enslaved. Welcome, Tyoma. Not sure what I'm going to do with you particularly yet, but hey, someone else to help out around the base. Very nice. So the crafting blacksmith area is now nearly complete. So what I've remembered halfway through building is that we are playing with the hotels mod and everything. So we can actually set this up as an actual shop. So I thought what would be nice is maybe we split it. So we have like the shop at the top here, and then you can kind of walk freely in between the production area and the blacksmithing area and everything. I thought that'd be like quite a nice idea and what would probably happen in the medieval era going between the two. And then we've got like the outside area here where we can have certain things outside that I think will produce heat and things like that. So I think the next building that we could probably work on as one of the main ones would be a storage room. I think it makes most sense to have the storeroom and the crafting area probably quite close to each other. Probably because we're going to need the materials and things. So I think in order for us to then make the storeroom, we need to remove the slave's bedroom. In order for us to remove the slave's bedrooms, we need to give them houses. Now, what makes most sense is that we fill out the outside with the slaves' houses, And they're not going to be given slaves' houses. They're not going to be given shacks with sleeping spots on the floor. They're going to be given lovely houses and buildings with fancy things and all that good stuff. So I've planned out what I think the basic house would look like for the slaves. They get their own bedroom, they get their own toilet, and they get their own little sort of like living area, in quotations, because they get a table and 2 chairs. I've also added in just the cooking table and stuff as well for aesthetic purposes. So they're fairly long and slender. And I think if they kind of like all go along at different quite kind of angles and keep them quite close together, I think that'll look really nice. And heating is complete. Next we have steel, plumbing, basic autopsy. Basic autopsy, very medieval. Steel, however, how else are we going to be able to make the fantastic armor our people deserve? Steel is humongous. Legendary work. Solas has created a birch table 1x2. Legendary. News of this valuable artifact was spread across the world. Whoa. Incredible. Absolutely incredible. So I've put down 4 houses down in this corner here. Hops obviously does not actually live in the town as our farmer. And then we can build, when we get any more amount of slaves, we can then move them to another section. If we split up who lives where, we can kind of try specialize things a little bit better. Okay, so it turns out we can't actually research steel for some reason. I think we're missing a prerequisite. So looking at the research tree, we are missing metallurgy schematics. So we do actually need to cancel this research and go for a different one, which we can't do. We can't actually cancel this research. In fact, this is the game is broked. No, I don't want that. I can't do it. Game, please. So I've now accepted the Ancient Star Corpus quest as well. It is the relic of the Blood Path, and it is a hypercharged dragon scale Prince helmet. Perfect for Jezebel. I've kind of figured out that if you do these quests, you can have a tribal quest where you come across a load of tribals, and who better than to steal and kidnap than a bunch of tribals? Perfect. So I've now started planning out the new storeroom as well. It's going to kind of follow the shape of the road as well and lead its way upwards. I've kind of got to a point now with this episode where we haven't got any quests. I've only got 1 more slave and build base is still happening. Research needs to happen in order for us to make any progress at the moment. And I've also now queued up a nice little central garden here as well for us to build a lovely dragon ritual statue. I've seen this here for ages, just there waiting for me to be able to build it, and I haven't been able to do it. So I thought we'll build a nice little square here leading into Jezebels Castle. We'll have a nice big statue attached to it, and it'll look really good. I've foreplanned as well as that it will be split off the same as we have got with the blacksmiths. We're going to have one area for selling and buying things, so we can have like the things that we think are worth things for people to buy, and then we'll have like the general storeroom behind it and everything. And Smelly now needs death rest as well. I think I'm going to send Smelly and Jezebel to death rest at the exact same time, just so then I know that they are both finished their death rest, and then we can just sort of go from there. And you know what? We're going to call things here. Jezebel and Smelly have been on a lot of adventures this episode. Yes, they haven't particularly been successful because they've just murdered everybody, but on the bright side, we thought positively of it. You know, the quests haven't been able to come in thick and fast. We've had no traders this episode, which is really strange because we've been having lots of traders recently. And a quest has become available for a 1 to hire. We don't get anything from this apart from 1,000 silver. And this quest ties into things. We haven't really been given many of these quests like this. And I mean, for 3 prisoners, we could take these 3 prisoners from the Imperium of Letho, and we could just take them and make them our own slaves and become enemies of the Empire, which I'm not necessarily opposed to doing, honestly. So we'll think about that next episode. If you have your opinions on whether or not I should become enemies of the Empire, let me know. So you've enjoyed today's episode, and you've enjoyed to see my good friend Toyoma appear out of nowhere. Consider liking, subscribing, and make sure you tell your mum about it, and I'll see you next time. Thank you.